The vehicle framework has two components. There is vocabulary acquisition and there is deliberate practice. And the goal of this method is to maximize the benefits that both of these things provide. All right, so first we're going to talk about vocabulary acquisition. So really the core of vocabulary acquisition is immersion and flashcards, right? And you can think of this as kind of like immersion being the really required component and the flashcards being the secondary component that's highly beneficial but not necessarily required. Let me give you a couple of analogies. So imagine the sport of bodybuilding, right? Immersion is like lifting weights. It's what you do. It's the main activity, right? And then flashcards is like steroids, right? Like it's not the main thing, but that's really what gets you to that next level really quickly, right? Or soccer, right? Take soccer. Playing soccer in and of itself is the main activity that's going to get you better at playing soccer. However, agility training is like what's going to get you to that next level. It's going to really like skyrocket your progress, right? And so you can learn a language without flashcards. Flashcards is just one of the fastest ways, but you can't really learn a language without some form of immersion, right? That's why people will take classes for 4 years and do Duolingo for 8 years, but can't really hold a conversation, right? You have the core, which is immersion and flashcards. If you don't know how to do either of those things, or if you have any questions on what those are, I'm going to link videos down below in the description, one for immersion and one for flashcards. It's going to explain to you exactly how to do those processes, but I'm going to assume you know generally what those two things are if you're watching this video, okay? So you have your core, which is really what's driving your vocabulary acquisition. But what's really going to get you to that next level very quickly is by incorporating vehicles, which is kind of like the differentiating factor in this method. So what vehicles are is they're things that you add on to your routine that increase your vocabulary without taking away from your flashcards and your immersion. So back to the bodybuilding analogy, right? Bodybuilders don't just lift weights and inject steroids, right? They do other things on top of that. Even though the main thing that gets them the muscle is, of course, like obviously diet. Let's just take that out of the equation. Diet, lifting weights, and injecting the steroids. They still do things like take supplements. Why? Why do they take supplements? Because it's something that's so incredibly easy that they can add, and it fills a role that just like the steroids and the weightlifting and the diet alone won't fill, right? That's really what we're doing. We're adding supplements. These supplements in and of themselves are not going to take you from like 0 to fluent. But when you mix them in with the immersion and the flashcards, they have a really good stacking effect and really take you to the next level. So one of those things is a word of the day, right? Like this sounds like really stupid and basic, but this is super effective. Not enough people talk about this. Just having a word of the day really help. Or even like a word of the week, right? Like one thing that I've incorporated recently in my Japanese study, I'm gonna put a picture up on the screen right now. On my fridge, jeez Louise, I have a whiteboard, and on the whiteboard I do a kanji of the week, where every week I have ChatGPT give me a kanji with a couple specific parameters. So I want it to be within the most common 2,000 to 3,000 kanji. Over 3,000, that's a little bit excessive, but above 2,000, because the rest I'm going to learn just from sheer exposure and repetition and study, right? And it's a random one, and preferably one that has like one dominant reading. So I only remember like one reading of the kanji, and I'll just take that kanji, take the most popular reading and put it on there, and boom. Now, every time I walk past my fridge, which is a lot because I eat a lot, I see that kanji and I kind of repeat it in my head, and boom, I go about my day, right? That's huge. Like that really adds up over, like, you got to think about this long term, guys. Over 2 years. Now, some people are going to say like, oh, this would be so much more effective if you did it in like a flashcard system. But I already do flashcards, right? And flashcards have their limit, just like lifting weights has its limit. I'm not going to do flashcards for 8 hours a day. Am I? Is that like realistic? So you got to find other ways to add in vocab acquisition that's outside of flashcards, right? And the stuff that's outside the flashcards tends to stick more, because the more you add into flashcards, the more stuff can kind of just get mumbo jumboed in that whole system. And the more that exists outside of that system that you're acquiring from like different places, they kind of have this unique feel to them, and you kind of remember them even better in a way, right? So that's one thing I found is huge. I literally have a kanji of the week every week. And one thing that I've incorporated in Vietnamese in the past, which I'm going to incorporate like again later on, when I go back to studying Vietnamese regularly, is just a word of the day, right? This is huge. So every single day, I'll just pick one word randomly that I find in my immersion. And instead of adding it to my flashcard system, I will add it to like my, just a random notes document on my phone. And every hour or so, I'll just randomly look at it, look at the word, and just remember it. And I don't even put the definition because I look it up once and then I don't want to keep associating it with English definition. I literally just put the word by itself in my note document, and then I'll look at it and I'll remember what it means, of course, right? And I'll remember the context. And I'll just look at it and I'll randomly, like in my head, be making sentences with it and everything. And then there's some words that I still remember to this day that I learned from that process. So that's really, really huge. That's something you can just incorporate today, right now after watching this video, and you're going to make massive gains. If you're learning Japanese, for example, a kanji of the week and a word of the day, at the end of 2 years, will give you 600 extra words and 50 extra kanji that you know. Assuming you like are getting a lot of immersion, you're finding the kanji of the week and the word of the day within your immersion as well. That's huge. And it's literally free. Like it literally takes almost zero time. Like legit. Doing flashcards will take like a whole hour every day, sometimes even multiple hours if you're really going hardcore. This takes like no time. It's really fast, it's really fun, and it's really easy. So this is something that I would highly recommend applying because it's just free lunch, right? Another vehicle that you can try is a technique that I've actually been incorporating recently with my Vietnamese study, because I've been studying mainly Japanese, but I'm kind of doing Vietnamese here and there in the background. And I don't want to do like a full-on word of the day where I have to like check it all the time. I don't want it to take up any more space on my whiteboard with Vietnamese. So this is a concept that I've created. Basically what I do is I just do, I'm just listening to some content. And then when I come across a word I don't understand, I look it up. And then I don't add the definition or anything. I just put that word that I looked up in a Word document. I'll put a screenshot of my Word document here. I honestly don't even do this that often. Maybe like once every couple days when I hear a word that I kind of like or that I kind of think I might use or that kind of might be common, I'll throw it in that document. And I don't even review that document regularly. I only pretty much go into that document to add more words. But what I do is when I add the next word, I look at the previous words, right? And what happens is when I come across that same word again in my immersion and I hear it and I'm actually able to recognize it in real time, I'm like, oh, there's the word for my document. And then I'll go in the document and just delete it, right? Because it served its purpose. It made me recognize the word in real time, and that's all I want to be able to do. So I just go in the document, I delete the word, and then I continue getting immersion. I found that to be like a really fun activity that's like genuinely like kind of exciting and enjoyable, that literally only takes like 10 minutes a week total to like kind of just set up and maintain. And it's helped me like really solidify like 3 words so far, but I've only been using it for like a week. Those are just free gains right there. I would have either added those words to my flashcards and had just a lot more flashcard reviews to do, or I would have eventually forgot those lookups, right? But because I added those to that random document, I'm able to remember them, and it's just huge. And finally, another really good vehicle that you can use is a tutoring session. A lot of people don't talk about tutoring sessions enough. They kind of just sweep it under the rug, but tutoring sessions are huge. They're really, really fun. You get really, really good interactions. And I find that the words that are taught to you by like another human, especially like if you're having a conversation entirely in your target language and they explain what the word means in the target language and things like that, you just remember it better. Like when a real human face-to-face is talking to you and they teach you the word, I feel like it just activates different neural pathways and you just learn better, in my opinion. So mixing that in with whatever else you're doing on your own is, I think, huge. And it's really helped me personally. There's a tons of words where I remember like I didn't even know what they meant, and my tutor just explained to me one time what the word meant, and I just remember them permanently from now on. So that's something that you could definitely sprinkle in. I'd recommend at least once a week talking to a tutor. There are so many different ways you can benefit from having a tutor, which I've talked about on the channel before, but this is just one of them, right? It's the cherry on top. And the final vehicle idea I have for you actually leads me to the next section of this video, which is deliberate practice. The deliberate practice that you're doing in and of itself can be a vocabulary acquisition vehicle. What do I mean by that? So to kind of introduce you to this concept, I'm going to first explain to you what deliberate practice is. You're basically picking the aspect of your language that you're weakest at, that you need to improve the most with, and you're grinding really hard that specific accent. I've talked about this all the time. So let's just say your pronunciation is really bad. You're going to do pronunciation training, and you're going to focus entirely on your pronunciation for a certain amount of time before you go back to just doing your regular immersion and flashcards and stuff like that. All right. So a couple of examples of how this can work and how this can be a vocabulary acquisition vehicle as well. Let's just take chorusing, for example. This is the first activity I'm going to talk about. Chorusing is very good for improving your listening and your pronunciation, right? So what chorusing is you listen to a native speaker say a sentence, and then you repeat that sentence after them, and you try to get your pronunciation to match as close as theirs. So it's really, really difficult, deliberate work on your pronunciation while also improving your listening, right? The way I do this is I chorus a sentence and that sentence will contain one word that I don't understand. So basically what I'm doing is, within my chorusing, I look up that word like before I start, like one time, and then I'll chorus for like 3 minutes. I'll chorus like multiple sentences and things like that, all with that same unknown word. By the end of that 30-minute session, this word is now mine. I know this word super well. I've chorused like 5 different sentences with this word in there. Not only do I have a better pronunciation ability and better listening now that I've done this chorusing session, but I also know I have this word that I've walked away with completely for free, right? So that's something I'll do. You can do this with like multiple words and stuff like that, but like if you really focus on one word, I find that it just helps you really remember that and actually take something away with it when you're done with that, right? Another deliberate practice activity that you can do is shadowing. This is one of the more difficult ones to really acquire vocabulary from because you're not supposed to look up words or anything at all during this process. This is just for increasing your fluency. Fluency being like how well you're able to articulate yourself and how fast you're able to speak and things like that. So what you would basically do is take a long clip of a native speaker speaking, and as they're talking, you're talking right after them, repeating what they had just said. So it can be kind of disorientating because you're listening to them and then also repeating what they had just said. But once you get the hang of it, it can be a great way to increase your fluency. Another way to increase your fluency is just having conversations with people, right? Whether that be like in real life with a tutor or just like recording yourself talking, right? That's a very deliberate activity that's improving your fluency, and it's something that's very difficult that you can do, right? And a way that you can turn that into a vocabulary acquisition vehicle is by finding moments in your speech where you were kind of looking for a word to say and you kind of couldn't really put your finger on it. So you switched to something else, or maybe you said it in English, or maybe you like used words a little bit unnaturally and you can tell that you use them unnaturally. Looking up how to say it in your target language and drilling that after you're done. That's a very good way to incorporate vocabulary acquisition into this process. So overall, just to kind of clarify everything and kind of just bundle all this up in the end, the vehicle framework is very simple. You have your core, which is immersion and flashcards, right? And then outside of that, you're getting as much supplementary vocabulary acquisition as possible. And then outside of that, you're having daily sessions of deliberate practice where you're picking one aspect of the language that you're weak at, and you're really drilling that one specific aspect, whatever that aspect may be. And within this, you're also in and of itself making that another language vehicle. So this is how you're going to skyrocket your vocabulary and also get better at the skills required to be fluent in a language. All right. Thank you for listening.